They say men like him don't ask.
They take. That was the first lie I believed about Matteo De Luca. The second was that kneeling is weakness. The third was that I ever had a choice. I stand barefoot in the center of his study, silk carpet cool beneath my soles, the city sealed away behind heavy drapes. This room is all shadow and polished dark wood, leather chairs that look like they've swallowed secrets, the faint scent of smoke and something metallic beneath it. Power always smells like iron if you get close enough. Matteo doesn't look at me at first. He never does. Did you read the rules? He asks, pen gliding across paper at his desk. Yes. Did you understand them? Yes. Did you come here willingly? The pause stretches. This is the moment he insists on, the moment that, in theory, keeps this from becoming something else. Yes, I say. Only then does he lift his gaze. It lands on me with weight, measured, assessing, intimate in a way that makes my breath stutter. He doesn't leer, he doesn't rush. He looks like a man deciding where to place his hands long before he ever does. Kneeling, he says calmly, is optional. Another lie. My knees meet the floor before I can stop myself. The sound echoes, sharp and final. My pulse races, not with fear, but with the electric awareness of being watched, studied, chosen. I expect satisfaction in his eyes. What I see instead is relief. That should terrify me. I wasn't taken. He made sure of that. There were contracts, witnesses, my name written in ink so dark it looked like it might still be wet. He explained everything with clinical precision, expectations, boundaries, language, submission, obedience, ritual. Always consensual, always revocable. I could leave at any time, he said. Walk out of his world and into whatever waited beyond his protection. I signed anyway. Not because I had nowhere else to go, but because when Matteo looked at me, it felt like being stripped without being touched. Every fracture exposed, every hunger named without shame. He didn't want to break me. He wanted me aware. Kneel properly, he murmurs now. My spine straightens instantly, hands to thighs. Chin lifted just enough to show compliance without defiance. He notices everything. He always does. You're trembling, he observes. I'm not afraid. I know, he replies softly. That's what concerns me. He rises and circles me slowly, his presence a heat at my back, close enough that I feel him without contact. The restraint is deliberate, cruel in its own way. Do you know why I don't give orders? He asks. Because you don't need to. A pause, then the faintest exhale, approval. Good, he says. You understand. The word settles inside me, heavy and warm. The rules shape my days. I kneel when I enter a room alone with him. I wait to be addressed. I ask permission for everything that matters. In return, I am untouchable to anyone else. His men avert their eyes. Doors open before I reach them. His protection wraps around me like a second skin. At night, I sleep in his bed. Not beside him, below his line of sight. He doesn't touch unless I ask. Doesn't claim unless invited. The denial sharpens everything. Every breath, every brush of fabric, every glance that lingers half a second too long. I dream of his hands more vividly than any memory I've ever had. That's how he wins. You could leave, he reminds me one evening as I kneel between his knees, my body aligned perfectly with his. I know. You haven't asked for anything. I didn't want to disappoint you. Something dark flickers across his expression, something raw and unguarded. I never wanted obedience, he says quietly. I wanted devotion. The difference lands like a blow. He lifts my chin with 2 fingers, the touch reverent, possessive, intimate enough to feel like a promise. Do you trust me? Yes. Enough to give me something I didn't ask for? My breath catches. Desire coils tight and low, dangerous in its certainty. Yes. He studies me for a long moment. Then, kneel, he says, voice low and intimate, and don't stop until I tell you to. Time loses meaning. There is only the burn in my muscles, the steady rhythm of my breathing, the strange clarity that comes from holding still too long. The world narrows until there is nothing but submission, and the man watching me endure it. When he finally tells me to stop, my body sways. He kneels in front of me then, equal at last, resting his forehead against mine. "You understand now," he murmurs. "I do. I could end this whenever I want. Yes, I won't." That night, I sleep deeper than I ever have. I wake before dawn. That alone feels wrong. The house is silent in a way that feels deliberate. I sit up, heart pounding, my body calm in a way that unsettles me. On the nightstand are two contracts. One I recognize. The other is older, yellowed, my name written in my handwriting, dated 3 months ago. I don't remember 3 months ago. I read the words with rising dread. No exit clause, no revocation, only one line. Consent, once given freely, may be assumed perpetual, unless explicitly withdrawn. My chest tightens. There's a witness signature. Mine. "You asked me not to remind you," Matteo says from the doorway. "You said remembering would interfere with sincerity." "That's not possible," I whisper. "You wanted devotion without fear," he replies gently, "without hesitation." Hope flares. "I can withdraw consent." "Yes," he agrees. "You always could." "How?" He waits. Silence stretches. My body moves before my mind does. I slide from the bed. My knees hit the floor. The sound echoes. He exhales. Not relief. Pride. "There," he murmurs. "That part of you that no longer needs instruction." I stare at my hands. Steady, open, ready. I try to remember who I was before kneeling felt like language. I can't. "Kneel," he says, not as a command. As a fact. I do. And something inside me settles, final and quiet. Not chains, not fear, understanding.